One of the most annoying things if you love building stuff in Conan Exiles is the farming part. You'll especially need a lot of stone, iron, and wood. And while you're farming for a specific resource, that means you're not spending that time doing other things like capturing tier 4 thralls or getting some StarMetal to fix your tools and weapons. Or maybe you'll need another expedition later to get some black ice for your armors. Farming for stone and iron in particular can really be time consuming to the point where it becomes a chore after a while. What I'm going to show you in this video is not the fastest way to get 100k stone. What we're going to concentrate on here is what I think the most efficient way to not waste too much time farming, and at the same time get the maximum amount of value from the time you spent. And the way we're going to do this is by getting a bit of everything you need. Even if you don't need it now, the accumulation of all these resources later will really astonish you once you've done this farming tour a few times. My philosophy is, even if you're just farming for one specific thing, take some time to gather other resources around you, because you won't have to farm those other resources as often if they're coming in a regular basis. Just one other thing I want to say is that people get burned out when farming, especially in this game. And once you burn out, it's over. You're just gonna stop playing. This video is designed to make your farming experience as painless and rewarding as possible, without using too much of your time. You can just do from time to time what I'm going to show you here, and you will see the results. So you'll avoid being that player that gets so many resources, but quits the game fairly early. And this happens because they're burned out. They're just tired of farming. The goal here is to make farming viable, and not let it become the main thing you do when you connect to the server. You will require a few things before you start. You will have to have a farming build on your character. You'll have to have a thrall that has at least 3k HP and 20 DPS. 2 steel truncheons and bindings if you want to capture tier 4 thralls. An armor that keeps you warm. You can check that in the stats of the armor. And advised requirements, StarMetal tools. But try and have on you at least steel tools to be able to farm a maximum. What you should expect from this video is to be able to get at least 32k stone, 10k iron, 3k wood, 1k StarMetal, 500 black ice, and as an option you'll have the possibility to have a tier 4 female dancer, Yanigi, tier 4 male smelter, Matthias Snowmelt, tier 4 Cimmerian berserker, can be randomly a male or a female, and a tier 4 female fighter, Dalincia Snowhunter. The goal here is to be able to have all this in about 35 to 40 minutes. You'll encounter no consequential enemies, so you won't waste time dealing with that. You do have a few goats and rock noses, but they'll die relatively fast if you have an efficient thrall. What this also means is that you can come to this farming spot relatively early in game. You really won't risk much as long as you keep to the path I'm going to show you today. I know that some of you don't want to become a farmer. You don't want to have the farming build on your character. You may not like this, but there is no way in hell you're going to evolve quickly if you don't get a farming build on your character. If you choose not to do this step, then what I'm going to show you is totally useless, because you're going to be over encumbered after destroying 3 rocks. It may be annoying to change your attributes and feats, but this will take you 5 minutes to do every time you do it. However, farming for 2 hours to get 20k stone instead of 15 minutes with a farming build for the same amount of stone, I'm sorry, but there really is no comparison. If you don't change your build to a farming build to have max encumbrance, then you're just wasting your time. The first thing you want to do is go to your alchemist bench and create a yellow lotus potion. It'll only require 5 yellow lotus blossoms. You can find them all around Noob River. After that, go into your attributes. Put encumbrance to max, survival to level 3, and the rest of the points wherever you want. This potion will also reset your feat points. That's the annoying part. In my case, I just stuck to the farming build permanently, unless there's a good reason to change it. So we're gonna start farming at the Obelisk in Mounds of the Dead, on the top left side of the map. If you don't have this obelisk, you can access it relatively easily through these paths. I'll be using explosive arrows to crack open the StarMetal nodes, and from now on I'll just comment to give some details. This is where the Tier 4 dancer Leonili spawns sometimes. When she spawns, she'll be on the left here. Just shoot an arrow at her, and she'll come to you. Then just knock her out. Matthias Snowmelt sometimes spawns inside this house. Just be aware that in this case, you will be confronted by at least 7 other enemies, so be cautious with this one. This camp is where you find Dalincia Snowhunter, but I have on occasion also found Matthias and Leonili here too. This is where Dalincia should spawn. I'll use some explosive arrows to crack this open, but you can use demon fire and grease orbs. Just throw a grease orb on the meteor, and then a demon fire orb. If it doesn't crack, continue applying more grease orbs until it does. When it's cracked, you can mine it. The reason we're coming up here is to get some black ice and look for more StarMetal nodes. But the best way to get black ice is in the Temple of Frost. You don't need to do this part if you have access to the temple. Take a look around from time to time. Some StarMetal nodes are hidden from view. Look for black smoke. Don't hesitate to place foundations to help you out. It can really make your life a lot easier. So there you go. If you really want more stone, iron and wood, just go back to where you started. By following the green line here on the minimap, you can start going back from where my character is facing here. The picture you're seeing now is just a recap of everything we just went through. I didn't talk about the Cimmerian Berserker, because you will always find a Berserker, alone, in the area shown here. Don't forget to look around to see if other players have an accessible map room in the area. If not, I strongly suggest you place one at the end of this path as soon as you can, so you can leave directly after you're done farming. I hope this video helped you out, and have a nice one. See you next time. Bye.